After weeks of radio silence, I thought I'd better post some kind of an update to tell people what's currently going on in the shed at Missle Industries. Now, the Falcon has come back into the garage because the Triton came back to me, I think it was a day after I did the last video. The Triton was ready, so I picked that up. And so the Falcon's safely back in the shed. I did have a dead Commodore and a dead e30 in here for quite some time while I was doing a swap, but the e30 has gone to my mate Al's place, and he's currently doing the wiring, the fuel injection system, and the brake lines for it, and hopefully that'll be finished by next Friday. The Falcon still not tuned because I've been spending my spare time at Al's shop doing mechanical and fab work for him while he does the wiring for my car and all the other bits and bobs, because he's got a lot going on, and we did a deal that I could slot my car into his schedule if I took on some of the work that he'd already accepted from other people. So that's how that's going, and yeah, hopefully next Friday it fires up, and then I can bring it back home to do the brakes and the diff and the exhaust system. I have some thoughts about the exhaust system because I have the remainder of the VY Commodore exhaust system here, which I could conceivably cut up and botch something together out of that. It would be really bodgy though, but not beyond the realm of possibility, just to get some kind of exhaust system onto the BMW in the short term before I arrange to get a U-Butte system made by somebody else. So those are my thoughts on that. While I was trawling for internet answers, I discovered a guy in New Zealand who's doing an E30 LS project, and he knocked up a set of headers from the headers that came with his motor to suit his E30, and I thought that's a clever solution there. He just pie cut the whole thing into segments and then re-welded it all to suit his application. Now, I have the headers sitting there gathering dust. They're not really worth a lot of money in the second-hand market, so I could just cut those up. Link in the description below. I think Fazy Lucky's his YouTube channel. It's an E30 skid car, and I've got to say I like what he's done. So the BMW left here on the 6th of February, which was 3 weeks ago, and the Falcon's just been sitting in the shed by itself pretty much that whole time because I've been doing mechanicking stuff at Al's away from my toys. So, still not tuned. Well, hopefully soon. Soon it will get tuned. On the subject of tuning, I had posted that this car had a ridiculous amount of timing in it now with the new distributor, and there is a possibility that the harmonic balancer that I bought for it with the timing marks on it might also be quite inaccurate. I mean, I don't know what manufacturing standards are like for aftermarket parts in the hot rod world, but if the starter motor debacle I went through with my E30 LS conversion is anything to go by, the standards are quite low. So what I should probably do is check the timing marks by checking true top dead center on cylinder 1 and scribe some marks on my harmonic balancer, much the way I did months and months ago during an episode I've forgotten the number of now, so I get a true indication of how much timing the car has and what the timing marks actually mean. This means I've got to pull finger on another hot, sweaty summer's day and get into it. And on another note, the Commodore that I bought as a parts car sold 48 hours after I listed it on Facebook for $2,000 with no engine and gearbox, which was a bit of a surprise because I thought once the motor and box was gone it'd be virtually worthless. But as it turns out, there are a lot of people out there with LSs and gearboxes tucked away in their sheds that are just looking for the opportunity to reshell them or to reshell their toys. And I think the second person that looked at it turned up with a tilt tray, cash in hand, and they took the car away 48 hours after it went on Facebook. So that was good news. because it was taking up a precious parking space on my property, and I was glad to see the back of it, to be honest. And on that note, I still have my car trailer at Al's place, so any tune I get, it's going to be a tune I'll be driving the Falcon to and taxiing my way home from. Another excuse for me to delay it a bit longer. So that's where I am with that. There's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes right now that I just have to knuckle down and get into. And filming will resume at some point. I've got a whole lot of stuff in the pipeline with my LS conversion because that has been quite the headache. And I'll definitely go into some of that soon. Look at that! It's race car porn, that's what that is.